Hey everyone, name's Sorry. I am a variety streamer slash just chatting. I stream Monday through Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and I stream to have fun.
Well, welcome. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Hey, thanks for having me. Been looking forward to doing this.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, you flatter me. Honestly, it's a pleasure. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I have been streaming on Twitch for about 4 years now. I am a Twitch partner for about a year. I am about 151 average for the last 31 days or last 30 days, and I'm just under 14,000 followers.
Wow, that's just honestly impressive. And in 4 years,
you.
that's a lot of growth to see.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey. I have streamed on different platforms, including Mixer. So
Oh
I've
my
I've tested other
gosh.
platforms as well.
R.I.P. Honestly.
Yeah.
So let's flash back to affiliate. Did you start streaming and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna do this and we're gonna have this plan and get affiliate, or did you just kind of hit go live?
Yeah, so I actually saw Ninja streaming on ESPN, and I was like, okay, I can do that. So I fired up my PS4, and I thought I was going to be a pro Fortnite streamer just like him. And I quickly realized that nobody comes and watches you. So to get affiliation, I actually opened up an iPad, and then had my IRL friend open up an account as well. And then that's how I got my 3 average
Oh
viewers.
my God, one of them was
Yeah.
you?
One of them was my own view. Yeah, so I just opened up, like, I made a different account on an iPad.
Oh my God, that's
So
smart.
yeah, I kind of cheated the system to get affiliation because I had no idea what the heck I was doing back then.
Wow. So how long
2018.
did you get affiliate for? Because it was just you and your friends. So did you get it pretty fast?
Yeah, so I got it, like, within 2 weeks. So
Okay.
it didn't take me that long. Obviously, I didn't. The followers was like the toughest one to get.
Yeah.
But I had a funny little. Again, I had no idea what I was doing, so I was actually messaging people from the Fortnite Twitter, and I was saying, "Hey, I'm really close to affiliate. If you don't mind dropping a follow, it would mean everything to me." So I was like basically cold calling people
Oh
and getting
gosh.
blocked quite often.
So you learned real quick.
Yeah, I learned. I was like, wait a second, this is kind of cringe. So
Yeah.
I changed it up.
Wow, that's actually kind of cool to, like, kind of experience that, because we all, like, now we know better, but, like, all of us kind of went through that of like, oh hey, do you want to follow? And they're like, no. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, the do's and the don'ts. That's why I don't really like get upset when somebody does that right now, because
Yeah.
some of us just don't know it. I don't look at myself like I'm a dumb person. So if I can make the mistake, I think anybody can. So I
Oh,
try
that's
to
so
educate
good.
first before, like, you'll notice a lot of streamers, they're quick to, like, insult somebody who does that and ban them and kind of like embarrass them. I try to
Yeah.
educate first before.
I love that. Yeah, for sure. So once you hit affiliate, and then now you're at 150 average for right now,
Yeah.
did you have any view dips besides going back to school and, like, pandemic and everything, and do you know the
Yeah.
causes of those?
So I had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of growing pains, trying to stream Fortnite, and then, going to Call of Duty, then going to Apex. Like, for the first two and a half years, I was mainly just a shooting. I was playing shooting games basically for the most part. I even left Twitch, went to Mixer. So I had a lot of ups and downs. Mine
Yeah.
kind of looked like if you do like my 4 year thing, it looks like a roller coaster ride. Until May of 2020 is kind of steadily going up. And that's when I really see the change, I guess, in my content and in my growth overall. And that was because I switched to just chatting. That was
Wow.
my biggest change.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so is that what just happened to get you out of the dip? Is that you just switched to just chatting, or was there anything else?
Yeah. So basically, I started to play my games less because I noticed that people, like, enjoy talking to me when my games weren't actually going on. Never been really good at games, so it makes sense that nobody really cared to watch me play, but more so wanted to just have a conversation.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Let me try and see, like, what happens when I don't play games. And I went from, at that point, I was averaging roughly 30 to 40 range,
Which is really
and
good still.
exactly. And it was really, really good. Especially for the mid-level gameplay that I provided my viewers. To just chatting, and I quickly rose. I went from 3540 to 7580 with just a couple of months. And I was able
Wow.
to apply for partner confidently in December.
Wow.
So from May to December, it was real quick, from 30 to about 100, 80 to 100.
Wow. So other than switching your games and just kind of just like being yourself and the goofy vibes or whatever, is there any tips to get views and followers?
So for me, I started putting a lot of my time into Twitter. Twitter was like my main platform,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of had like a mix of some streamer tips that I learned along the way, being myself, and then also posting videos. So I started to see a lot of growth from Twitter. And then I was like, well, let me try Instagram. So I found it really important to get myself on as many other platforms as I possibly could. It can be exhausting, but that's what brought in the majority of the follows. And then I know that raids don't normally work, for a lot of people as far as like the people coming back. But I had a unique kind of like thing that I did for raids where I put on like kind of like a show, and surprisingly, it worked to my advantage. And I know it might sound like, oh, I'm like poaching, whatever, but it was more so like the streamers who would bring their communities over. I would like tip my hat to them. And I always
Yeah.
made sure I let them know, like, hey, if the streamer that you normally watch is on when I'm on, make sure you watch them first. If they're not live, come hang out with me. And that was kind of like my punchline, and it worked really well. And it was a really big growth for me. So between networking myself properly and putting on a show when I got rated, and also using Twitter and Instagram, that's where I got the majority of my follows. Twitch discoverability isn't always the best for that.
Yeah. What was your show? What did you do?
So I watched a lot of this guy named Sushi Dragon, and I used a green screen for the first couple of years. So I used a lot of visual effects.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of so I would display capture my screen, so you would see multiples of me. So when I move my arms, you would see a bunch of me's behind in slow motion.
Yeah.
And I would create like a visual. I called it visual ASMR, with a lot of lights and a lot of music, and it was just like kind of like being at a crazy concert. Um, and it was fun. It was a fun time. But I knew that if I wanted to take the next step, I couldn't do that forever because that's a very niche kind of thing to do. Not everybody kind of vibes with that. So
Right.
with everything, you kind of evolve.
Yeah. So what do you do now instead?
Well, now I'm just more, I guess I'm more just genuine. I just kind of introduce myself, who I am, and then I kind of stick with my content. I know that might sound like counterproductive, right? Because something that works so well, why
No.
stop doing
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you grow, you do have to evolve. And I'm a big studier of metas. Like I like to I have streamers that I see myself as, and I kind of watch what they do and how they conduct themselves. And I try to do similar fashion just with my own style.
I love that. I love that so much. So you can just like, it's not you're taking their content. It's just like you're admiring them and be like, okay, like what can I do for my own brand?
Exactly. You're mirroring them, but you're doing your own thing while doing it. So, they're successful for a reason. So I like to study them and see what brings them success, why their viewers like that, and then think like, okay, what can I do now to do that as well, but also show who I am, in a different way. So that way, I set us apart.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So being stagnant on Twitch is just such a common occurrence. It happens to
Yes.
pretty much everyone. So how did you grow? How did you do those jumps of getting from, well, you said it referenced just chatting got
Yeah.
you the partner, but then even more. So after partner, how are you getting to average of 150 right now?
Yeah, so something that's really important to me, and I know not everybody is in agreement of this, but for me, scheduling was very important. Like having a set schedule when I streamed. For the first couple of years, I didn't have a schedule, so I would just,
Mm-hmm.
if I felt like it, I would just go live. Whether it was 6 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., I would just go live, and it's definitely more freeing that way. Don't get me wrong; it's really nice to just be able to go live when you want. But I noticed that people didn't. They would always say like, "Oh, sorry, when do you go live?" And I never could give them an answer. I would just say like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I just do it." And so I started to set a schedule, and what I started to see was people were showing up to my streams before I would even start. Before I would even go live,
Yeah.
they'd be in my streams talking, right? And
Yeah.
they start to know. And I would see other people in chat like ask like, hey, when do you go live? Sorry. And I wouldn't have to answer it. My other people, not even mods or VIPs, just people would say, oh, he's live at 10:30 a.m. So I could tell that it was sticking in people's heads. And
Yeah.
with doing that, I really saw a lot of growth by just having a schedule and really sticking with it. Consistency is very key in this. And again, I know sometimes it can feel like work when you do that, but I really believe that a lot of my growth is just from having a schedule.
Yeah, for sure. Is there one thing, or if you have more, multiple things, that kind
Yeah.
of like changed it all for you? You're like, wow, like that really worked, other than the consistent schedule.
Well, yeah, I mean, the consistency really helped me getting my content out there, and kind of just doing my own thing. I think it's really easy to look around us and want to kind of fall into into the what are they doing? Let me do exactly what they do. It's really important to stick to your own guns. What makes
Yeah.
you unique, you know? So I think, I think just being you, make sure you're showcasing yourself. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to be silly. I think a lot of people are reserved and they want to have this, this certain image or whatever, but it's not actually who they are.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised of how many people like you for exactly who you are, and it's really freeing once you do that.
Oh, I love that. Almost gave me goosebumps a little bit. So getting people back after they followed is a really hard thing to do. They somehow
Yeah.
found your channel, hit the follow button. Is there anything that you do either on stream or off a stream to get them to come back?
Yeah, so multiple times during my stream, I do like to say like, "Hey guys," I like to repeat what my schedule is, so that way they
Okay.
hear it. I also have a schedule command. My mods kind of know that when I'm talking about it, they'll hit the schedule command as well. I talk about my Discord. I am a Discord partner, and I'm really proud of my Discord. I do certain things to keep it going. For example, I have like a question of the day bot that posts every
Oh,
morning, so it kind of gets the Discord going early on, in the day, and then
yeah.
people kind of stay active. And then, that's my main source, right? I ping the Discord when I'm live. I ping the Discord if I have any like big announcements.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that kind of helped. It's almost like you want to create like a funneling system where, people, they're always kind of in touch with you, right? You're not completely
Yep.
out of sight. Because when you become completely out of sight of mind, they're gonna move on. They're gonna find other people to be entertained, because that's the whole reason why they're on Twitch in the first place. They just want to be entertained and have some friends.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, that's such a good tip. Like the Discord bot, I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Question of the day.
So what now? You're averaging 150 people. You're doing like bits on Twitch, right? What's next?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to be trying to tackle YouTube as well. I think it's really important. That's the one beast I haven't really gotten to. I think it's just important to really try to figure out all platforms.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it could be overwhelming. I know time's very limited. But the cool thing about a site like YouTube, right? You can schedule things out. So you could have like one day. So I set like Fridays as my day, and that's like my work day. And with like YouTube and a lot of these other sites, you can schedule things. You can have things go
Mm-hmm.
out. So that's going to be the next thing for me, because I want to continue to grow my brand. It's very important. It's very important to expand, right? If you put all of your eggs in one basket, that's very
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yep.
Speaking of Mixer, which I said earlier, that I did
Right?
stream on, Mixer closed down without much of a warning. I don't think that's going to happen with Twitch, but again, you never know. So if you
Mm-hmm.
put all of your eggs in one basket, you're really risking a lot there. So I think it's important to to spread yourself and get your brand in as many different places as possible. So that would be my next beast, I guess, is trying to figure out the YouTube game.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know if you do figure it out, because man.
Yeah, I will.
All right. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming on and
Hey.
talking with me.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Again, it was fun. I look forward to this. I hope people that watch this or watch any of the videos that you make, that they really like get some good information.
Yeah.
There's not people quite like you that's really doing this. And big vouch. And if you're
Oh,
if you're a new streamer or you're looking to get into it, I would honestly sit through all of these and watch them, and you're not gonna really get this information anywhere else.
oh my gosh, you're gonna make me cry. Oh, thank you, thank you. That's huge
Yeah,
coming from you. Honestly, I look up to you, so thank you. That's awesome.
you're welcome. That means
All
a
right.
lot.
Well, I'll see you in your streams. Thank you so much.
Adios. Thank you.
Bye.